top 10 best football player in the world 2025. One, Lamine Yamal. Those who follow La Liga won't be surprised by Lamine Yamal's eye-catching displays during Euro 2024, but his stratospheric rise since the international tournament has been a sight to behold. The teenager, who still doesn't turn 18, for a little while impressed everyone with his exceptional performances for Barcelona during the 2023-24 campaign, in which he made 50 appearances for the Catalan Giants. Aside from his extraordinary technical qualities, what makes Yamal different from the vast majority of players his age is his decision-making. Time and time again, the youngster makes the right decisions when it matters most. Once bathed by Lionel Messi as a baby, it would be a shock if Yamal doesn't go on to win the Ballon d'Or one day after having recently scored against Real Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup final and becoming the youngest ever player to score at a Champions League round of 16. Quarterfinal and semi-final all in one campaign. 2. Ousmane Dembele. Finally fulfilling his potential that many claimed he had almost a decade ago. What Ousmane Dembele has done in the absence of Kylian Mbappé and Lionel Messi at Paris Saint-Germain is quite extraordinary. The ambidextrous winger has been in scintillating form, and last season, the French Giants managed to achieve something they had never come close to doing, winning the Champions League. Despite getting rid of several of the superstars that were supposed to lead them to European glory. With a newfound sense of responsibility, Dembele notched 48 goal contributions in 49 games, an astonishing record that places him firmly among some of the very best in the world of football. As a result, he skyrocketed up the list of football's top 25 stars into third place, having not even been considered for the longest time and could easily earn himself a Ballon d'Or by October. 3. Mohamed Salah. The year 2023 was a largely frustrating one for Mohamed Salah. Liverpool finished 5th in the Premier League, exited the FA Cup and League Cup in the early rounds, and were dumped out of the Champions League in the first knockout round. There weren't any major individual accomplishments to speak of either, and at one point, it even looked as though he was open to quitting Anfield altogether to join Cristiano Ronaldo and co. In the financially well-endowed Saudi Pro League, Salah started the following campaign with a typical torrent of goals, but struggled to replicate his best form after picking up a serious hamstring injury while on international duty with Egypt in January. The fleet-footed forward looked jaded and let his frustration boil over during a public spat with Jurgen Klopp at the end of April. Yet, under Arne Slot's fresh stewardship, the Egyptian king is back to his goal-gobbling best in the red of Liverpool, often being their one and only savior. To conclude 2020 for 25th, he recorded more than 50 goal contributions. His statistics up until this point are just as good as Lionel Messi's prime years, and the Egyptian king has never looked more like a man on a mission. He would end this season having signed a new 2-year contract extension and helped the Reds to a second league title in 5 years. 4. Kylian Mbappé. Kylian Mbappé ended his spell with Paris Saint-Germain and has begun the next chapter of his career at Real Madrid after completing a dream move to the Bernabeu in the summer of 2024, as expected. The goal-hungry Frenchman has adorned the No. 9 shirt in the Spanish capital. Despite the fact that he knew his time at PSG was coming to an end, Paris-born Mbappé knuckled down during the final months of the 2023-24 campaign and ranked as the most prolific forward in the French top flight once again. The world-class forward was a disappointing presence for France at Euro 2024, but that's largely because he suffered a broken nose early in the tournament. His start to life with his new employers was difficult to start with, but now, having scored 43 goals in 56 appearances, he's on fire yet again. 5. Raphinha. Here's your bi-weekly reminder that Raphinha once plied his trade for Yorkshire-based outfit Leeds United. Now, he's ripping up on a week-by-week basis for one of the biggest teams in Europe, and he certainly doesn't look out of place in Barcelona's star-studded team. That was once a time. However, when his Camp Nou stint looked to be all but over, in the form of his life under boss Hansi Flick, having plundered 30 for goals and 25 assists in 57 appearances across all competitions in 2020 for 25ths. The critic silencing Brazilian is enjoying quite the redemption arc and has every chance of guiding Flick and co., alongside the likes of Lewandowski and Yamal, to great things. It's just a shame that his record-breaking Champions League campaign didn't end in triumph.